Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the City of Healing, where the city resides within. This is Angela, and I wanted to come forth briefly to do a brief share. I just happened to run across one of my books about adaptogens, and I said, that'll be a good subject to talk a little bit about it this evening. Basically, what it is and what types of adaptogens there are out there, and some precautions if you didn't already know. But adaptogens are basically, it's basically food is medicine, basically. And they can come in the form of herbs, roots, mushroom, fruit, for example. And basically it keeps the body in balance when it's out of balance, of course, due to stress that can be caused by internal or external factors. And some of these external factors we basically can't help. And I notice even for myself, certain times of the season or the year, like about this time, my body is responding differently and requires different types of interactions. So external factors you can't necessarily help unless you take yourself completely out of that situation. And internal is things that we can work on providing to help ourselves become in balance by the types of things that we do to support ourselves. And adaptogens are basically a way of keeping the body in what we call homeostasis. And it supports all of the organ systems. It helps the different types of body systems like the nervous system, the immune system, the endocrine system. And when you take in consideration in knowing the types of herbs, you have to know your herbs and what they do, because herbs are basically where our modern day medicine or Western medicine comes from. And it basically is pretty much stronger if not used in the correct way. But basically because it comes from nature, it's safer to consume. But as always, consult with your doctor, because you can be on certain medicines that can interfere or increase the effects of, such as blood pressure, and certain herbs that'll decrease your blood pressure even more. So it's very important to consult with your doctor or a naturopath or herbalist or someone that knows you and knows the herb and the medicine and how it will affect your system. But adaptogens are full of SODs, in other words, the superoxide dismutase, in which is a great antioxidant that our body naturally produces, like glutathione is naturally existing in our body. And sometimes when we are in certain environments or certain foods, or just basically working with, the bodies that we have, we lose some of that ability to produce oxygen and help our cells regenerate and make ourselves healthy. And fortunately, nature provides certain herbs and adaptogens and foods, as I just mentioned, that can bring our body back into balance or homeostasis. And there are lots and lots of adaptogens. And I have this book, pretty book, and this is by Agatha Noviel. I don't know if you can see it. But basically this book goes into different details of different adaptogens, what they are, basically a guide to identify certain herbs, what they do, how to make tinctures and tonics. And it's just overall a nice book, a guide to adding superfoods or herbs or adaptogens to your food, as I mentioned one time before in my oatmeal, adding spirulina or different types of superfoods to your meals. You can do that, mushrooms, and there's just several ways that you can incorporate superfoods or herbs into your meal without changing the flavor or the taste of the way you like for your food to taste. But this is a really good book, and like I said, it goes to different types of herbs. Um, there are several different types of herbs. I haven't tried a lot of them because of the way my body, I believe, will react to them. But I've discovered. But there are herbs like the rhodiola, the ginseng, the gynostema, which is sort of in the same likelihood as ginseng because it's a stimulant, so to speak, even though it doesn't have, like coffee, it's not like that. It basically balances the body when you need more energy, you know. This type of herb or adaptogen will help give you more energy. Other types of herbs are like goji berries, and I love goji berries. They are great food. It's high in antioxidants, your vitamin A. And it tastes sort of like raisins. It's a little bit more tart than raisins, and they are orange food, so it's high in keratin. And I like to make trail mix out of them. This is pretty expensive, like $15, 15 rather. And like I said, they're orange, and I put them in my oatmeal sometimes. I put it in, different trail mixes and things like that. And these berries are kind of, you can also make a tea out of them, which, boil them and then you drink it as a tea. And as I mentioned before, I don't really add sugars to my tea, and it's very energizing. So if you haven't tried goji berries, it's a great adaptogen. It's a great superfood, especially in trail mixes. You won't know the difference. Other one that I've doing more of now is the holy basil, but I drink it as a tea, and the tulsi, different types of teas. You can add adaptogens or your herbs to it. Also, mushrooms like chaga and reishi and lion's mane and cordyceps. Those are also great adaptogens. Cordyceps are more stimulating. Chaga is more nurturing and nurturing to the body. It's melanated food, so you can imagine how nutrient dense that chaga is. It's the king of mushroom, and reishi is the queen of mushroom, and she's a great adaptogen, nourishing as well. And then there's maca, that's really good for your thyroid health and helps support that, and it's also good for fertility. Let's see, there's so many different types of adaptogens that you can study. If you feel that you don't have enough energy, incorporating your ginseng, your gynostema into your diet. If you need more help with calming yourself more, relaxing yourself more, rhodiola or ashwagandha, astragalus, and holy basil, are some to consider. Holy basil, chaga used to be a one that I used to incorporate a lot into my smoothies, and now is a little bit of reishi and a lot of holy basil that's keeping me more normalized somewhat. So I like to experiment with different superfoods and adaptogens, as a way to balance myself into the more neutralizing state. Even though I look more calm, my body reacts differently. It's more stimulated. Like when I first wake up in the morning, I'm very energized and ready to go. And it's not hard for me to unwind, but I go to sleep and I wake up, I'm ready to go. So I'm very, very energetic, so I have to get something to calm me down more than stimulate. That's why, unfortunately, I can't do coffee. So I have to, stay away from the stimulants. And that's why it's important to know what your adaptogens or your herbs do for your body, so you can level out, the response and the way your body will respond to them. And it's important to only incorporate, one at a time to see how your body adjusts to it. And if you need to consult with a herbalist or a doctor, you do that. Especially important because, food is medicine. And if you're not careful of the way that you incorporate it into your body, you could cause more harm than good. But, Mother Nature did provide, these foods as medicines for us to heal ourselves. So I just wanted to come forth and share that. And I hope it was helpful and encourage you to do more studying on it. Of course, there's more studying to be done. Just wanted to talk about it a little bit. And if you don't know about it or haven't heard about it, you just have. Anyway, I also wanted to share a new dessert I have here from So Delicious. And it's blueberries. I love blueberries. And cardamom, which is a native Indian spice, but Asia has used it, and India has used it also. So if you've had Indian food, it kind of reminds you of that taste with blueberries in it and coconut. And this is a non-dairy vegan ice cream, and I think it is just so delicious. And I can eat off of this about 6 or 7 times, And it has real blueberries in it. And it's so creamy. It's so delicious. It's new. I usually like the vanilla. And I can't do chocolate, especially late, because it's stimulating. But this is so delicious. And it is so delicious. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. Really delicious. And it tastes better than dairy ice cream to me. I guess because I'm used to it. But it's really creamy. It's sweet. It's organic. You should try it. Anyway, thanks for visiting the city. I'm not going to eat no more of that tonight. Like I said, I can eat off this about 6 or 7 times. And it's okay to splurge a little bit and not overdo it. Anyway, thanks for visiting the city. I hope you have a good night. Take care.